Are you tired of everyone's shit and want to throw back a cold one? Come on over to the Fiery Flamingo, located at 69 Verdano Lane in Atco, New Jersey. No shirt, no shoes, no problem. We've got you covered. The Fiery Flamingo, open 7 days a week from noon till 2 a.m.
Disclaimer. Buckle up. This episode of Three Friends and All the Things is packed with foul language, inappropriate comments, and even some streaking. If that's your jam, then welcome to the circus. Let the shenanigans begin.
Got it.
Worst dating experience.
Oh, my worst dating experience? I'll give you mine. Mine,
Good.
I went on a date, saw a profile pic, got to the PJs to meet up with this woman, and very cute, very nice, my body type. She drives up in a Jeep. I'm like, oh yeah, Jeep girl, awesome.
Oh, God.
Till she got out of the Jeep, and she went from stick to sponge. Pow! Like something exploded in her pocket. I was like, oh, wow. So the gentleman that I am, I went in, I had a beer with her. We talked for 10 minutes. And what I learned on the dating website is with women these days, well, this is going back before I met Jennifer. So we're going back almost 10 years. Women these days just want you to be upfront and honest with them. If there's nothing there, just say, hey, there's nothing here.
Did you
Okay
get
with it.
catfished?
No. Yeah, well, yeah, actually, I think I did. I can't really say if it was or it wasn't because it was her face and it was the way she was sitting. So I think she angled herself that way for that reason.
It was that makeup tape that holds everything.
Correct.
Yeah. Spanx, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I know. Sons of-
Nice.
Goddamn Kardashians at it again.
Yeah.
Oh, my
well,
God.
you know.
All right.
Welcome to Three Friends and All the Things podcast, the show where filters go to die, opinions fly free, and laughter is basically a full-time job. They're not here to solve the world's problems. They are here just to make each other laugh and maybe learn a thing or two along the way. This is Three Friends and All the Things podcast, real talk for real people.
Well, welcome to Three Friends and All the Things. Today we are going to talk about our dating experiences, and we're going to talk about all sorts of things like what websites are people using for online dating and what is considered old school and old fashioned versus what people do today in regards to dating behaviors. But first, before we get into all of that, Dave has a fact of the day. Dave?
Fact of the day. So something interesting. Honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found pots of honey located in Egyptian tombs. They're rating them at 3,000 years old or older, still perfectly edible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my
That
fact
one
of
I
the
knew.
day.
Yep,
Thank
honey
you.
never goes bad.
History Channel.
Yeah. I have a fact of the day.
Okay.
Barbie, as in the doll, Ken and Barbie. Barbie has a middle and a last name.
What?
Do you guys know what it is? Because if you don't, I'm
No.
going to tell you.
No, tell us
Barbie
anyway.
be plastic?
Barbara Millicent Roberts is her name.
Millicent?
Millicent.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wow.
And Barbie has 3 sisters.
Wow.
What?
Mhm. Yeah, everyone
They-
thought it was just Skipper, right? Nope, it's Skipper, Ginger, and I believe Stacy is the
No
the
one
third
likes
sister.
Skipper. No
They
one
all
likes
married
Skipper.
Ken's
Poor Skipper.
brothers.
Probably.
Bob, Danny,
Listen.
and Jeffrey.
We grew up
Yeah.
in the 80s. You didn't have Ken's brothers. They all married Ken.
Yeah.
He was like Mormon lives. He
Oh,
had
geez.
15 wives.
Where did he
going
live?
on.
In Utah?
Yeah, that's where the Barbie mansion was. Why do you think Barbie had a camper? They took
Yeah.
the camper out to Utah. Duh.
Move to Beverly Hills. That is.
Barbie's full name, Barbara Millicent Roberts, and she has 3
Wow.
sisters. I was not aware of that until about last
Not
week.
aware.
Yep.
There
Okay.
you go.
So let's get rocking and rolling in our dating episode. And
Colleen's likes and dislikes are.
Okay. So, what are the hot dating sites that people use today?
Match. Tinder.
Anybody? Is Match still a thing?
eHarmony.
Is Match
eHarmony's
still
been
a
around
thing
for a
now?
long time.
Yeah, Match.
Yeah.
It's still a thing, but it's more. I see people more or less. They're from what I'm hearing, they're jumping around from site to site, so they kind of like, bounce
Back in
around.
the day, it was Match and eHarmony, and that was all that you had to choose from.
And
I
Tinder.
And then
met-
all
Tinder
of
was
those
on there, too.
hookup sites started coming out.
I was out last week for a charity dinner, and we did like this restaurant crawl, and one of the guys that was in the group, he met his wife on eHarmony, and they got married I think 5 months ago. And I was asking him, and I'm like, so like, did you find the site, good? And he's like, yeah. He said there were questions, and it weeded things out, and then it would like it would narrow down the matches, and then eventually they met. And he said within like the first couple hours of hanging out, like they were exactly as they were perceived. So there were no surprises, no catfishing, and they basically knew because of all this questioning that eHarmony does, it narrows it all down. And they basically knew within like, I think the guy said like an hour or two, he's like, oh, we're like a perfect fit, And they were together less than a year and they got married, and they met on eHarmony. So I was like pretty fascinated in his story. I thought that was pretty cool.
Match.
A friend of mine, her son, who's in his 20s, met his current girlfriend on a dating website. And I didn't think 20-year-olds did that because we didn't do that when we were 20.
No.
We did
that wasn't
bars and
available.
friends and college. Yeah, it wasn't available.
Parties.
So
I
I
don't
just
think it was a
never
thing when we were
registered to
20.
me that the younger generation was using websites like that. I thought that was just
No, I think a lot of the
for
younger
those
kids
of us
too,
who have given up.
from what I've found, my wife told me she had a lot of younger guys in their 20s hitting on her when we were on the website. So I think a lot of times these younger guys get on there and they just want to hit up older women and take advantage or just do what they can do and get their rocks off and move on.
Yeah, I think
don't know
I
that
think a
it's
lot of the
like,
younger ones are.
seriousness.
Yeah, I think the younger ones are probably just looking for like, a one night stand or whatever. But I mean,
and those are the Tinders and the Plenty of Fish and those websites, right?
Honestly, I think every one of them has a little bit of that because they kind of like they jump from site to site. They see where because mostly when you're on those sites. I know when I was on those sites, I was on 2, eHarmony and Match, and then I met Jennifer on Match, and then fast forward 4 years later, we were married. But when I was on there before I met Jennifer, I noticed the people that were on eHarmony, most of them were on Match. And most of them were on other websites from what we're, just talking and conversating with people. They would say, yeah, I'm on 3 or I'm on 4. Like, it's just, and when you bounce around, like you can go there, you'll see the same people. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if that's just, throwing more bait out and seeing what you're reeling from
Chumming
different
the
areas.
waters.
Yeah.
Chumming the waters, man. That's what it comes down to.
Because you may not have, you might have one person that only sticks to Match. It doesn't go anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're not on Match, you may not find that person.
Here's my take on these dating websites. On eHarmony and Match.com and sites like that, everyone's looking for their future Mrs. or Mr. And they're, like even the over 50 dating website that they have. What is it? I don't know, goldengirls.com. I don't know what it's called. But
awesome. Goldengirls.com, my man. Tell
there's
Jennifer
an over
about
50
that
want to be
website.
I want to be planned.
Right, so do I.
I just want to go on and see what kind of people are on there. That's what I want to. I want the entertainment.
Like on those websites, they're all, let's hook you up with your life partner. And I don't fit into those categories because I don't want a life partner. I did that. I put in that time. I just want people to hang out with.
Yeah.
you know, like someone to meet up and go to concerts or go out to the bars or, yeah, just a basic companionship type of relationship. I'm not looking for a spouse. I'm not looking for someone that I'm eventually going to move in with because
No,
I
I think
did that and I'm not doing it again.
No, I think they do have those sites where it's basically like, it's like meetafriend.com or whatever the
Yeah,
hell
but
it's
all
called.
of those sites end up being hookup sites.
Oh,
Like
so it's not
Tinder,
just like,
and it's either love of your life or get laid. And there's nothing really in the middle.
so there's no like find people like in your area to hang out with.
Yeah, I think that's
Facebook has a little bit of that, but some of the matches that I got on Facebook, there was a guy whose whole welcome profile was talking about how he loves hair. Playing
awesome.
with hair, stroking hair, braiding your hair.
Does he dance with hair?
And on the same day, there was another
What is he, Buffalo
guy.
Bill? Is he going to make a suit out of hair and like, what
Yo,
the hell?
I hate hair.
Puts the
You see
lotion in its
my
basket.
profiles, I hate hair.
Yeah.
It
What
puts
an
the
idiot.
lotion in the basket.
Oh, Lord
Yeah,
help
it's
It
us.
gonna
puts
put
the
the lotion in
conditioner in the basket.
Jesus.
And then on the same day, I had another match that came through that was kitty cats and how he loved his kitty cat.
Did
And
that come
all
from
of
Christian Mingle?
Yeah.
And listen, at first I thought it was a euphemism, but then I looked through his pictures and every single picture was this guy cozied up with a cat. And it was, yeah.
That's
So,
weird.
So that turns you off?
well, it
Did you-
didn't turn me on. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah.
You didn't call
That's
him?
weird.
Jesus.
Well,
Dude, who-
safe to
I
say
can't
the
even-
guy
I
likes
want to say
pussy.
something right now and I
Oh,
can't.
did I say that out loud?
See, I thought it was a euphemism at first, but yeah, every picture
Well,
I will
had
just
him
tell
in a
you.
footy tat.
I will just tell you, in Australia, they don't refer to cats as cats. They call them pussies. And I'm like, that is so, no, it's a cat.
It's
And
derogatory.
they're like,
you can't
no,
do
but
that.
But they do. They're like, oh, hi, pussy. Hi. I'm like, ugh. Okay, that's
Yeah.
just weird. But just
Did you tell them
yeah,
what we
just
say
saying.
in the States, what that means in the States?
Yeah, well, you know.
Listen, I
Yeah,
went on
There's quite a few.
when I
Yeah.
was on Match. There is a lot of catfishing on there, and you could kind of figure out which ones are catfishing. Like, 'cause you got
Yeah.
ones that are like they're like drop dead models. And you're like, dude, no, just ain't somebody that good looking on this. If they are, then they're nuts. They're just
Yeah.
Or they only have 2 pictures, and that's it.
right. So you
Yeah.
kind of know, you figure out where to stay away from. You know what I mean? Like I went on a few dates, and you're like you don't think about it in the mix of it. And when you look, I don't remember if they had time frames on them, like if you could tell how long a person's been on there or not. But I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, what's this woman doing on here? And then I go out on a date with them. Like, one of the dates I went on, I had a pet peeve. I'm short in height, right? So my pet peeve was, if you're shorter than me by 3 inches, by all means, wear a high heel. If you're taller than me by an inch or 2 or right at my height, don't wear high heels because it drives me nuts. That was my pet peeve. So when I go out on a date, that didn't mean that if the person was like right at my height, that it was just an automatic no. It just meant don't wear high heels because I feel weird, because I have a complex about it. So I met this girl on there, and she lived in Deptford. She lived in the apartment. So I texted her, we're going to go out to the Village Pub and have a couple of drinks and eat some food and talk. So I'm like, all right. So on my way there, she sends me a text. She says, yeah, can you pick me up? Because I had a few big glasses of wine. I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I drove over, and I park, and I text her, I'm here, and I'm waiting this year, and I see somebody coming from across the one complex. I'm like, that's got to be her. And first thing I see, she's wearing 5-inch stiletto heel boots.
Oh God.
And I'm like, oh boy, I'm telling you, like, it's the first thing that I said, don't wear high heels, and she wears them, right? So I'm like, all right.
Oh, you
calm
said
down.
that did you say that in your profile?
Yeah. And I said it in
so
general
you were upfront
conversation
about
too.
it.
I was
Okay.
upfront about it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? She seems nice. Let's see how it plays out. It's okay. So we go, and we're walking into the Village Pub. I had to step on the curb line so I could look her in the eye. Well, wait, it
Got
gets
a little
better.
Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise going on there.
Wait a minute. So we go in, we have food, we eat, we drink,
See
we
Dave
talk.
toting around a step stool.
Wait, so I go, she's like, you want to come back, have a glass of wine, we'll watch TV, talk, whatever. I'm like, yeah, all right. So I get there, we go in, we're talking. And in the middle of the conversation, she starts crying about her ex-boyfriend.
Oh,
And I'm
good
like,
Jesus.
slam on the brakes. You're not ready for this. I'm out of here.
Yep.
So
See
wait,
ya.
so I passed off. Hold on, I passed off. I'm like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Have a nice night. I'm going, she's like, cool, can we go out again? I'm like, yeah, sure. Give me a call tomorrow, blah, 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 right? All right, she's being nice. Okay. So I go home. I wake up the next morning, 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm going to work. And I have a head cold and a fever that's unreal. So I set my alarm clock for 7 in the morning. I called out
You
sick.
got
the whole 9
infected
yards.
and you didn't even earn it.
Probably. So I texted her and saying, if you don't hear from me in the first 4 to 6 hours of the day, it's because I'm going to be sleeping because my head feels like it's going to explode. I don't want to be, I just want to go to bed. Okay, no problem. 4 hours later, I wake up and here it comes. Text message after text. You're an
87
a-hole. You're
texts.
just like all the rest. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I'm told you I was going to be sick. I wound up, I was like, you know what? Screw this. Block, delete. Block, delete.
Yeah.
Out. I'm
Yeah.
out. That's enough
Yeah.
of that.
I
shit.
had someone that I matched with, and we must have sent 30 messages back and forth. And all I would get was, good morning. Like, okay, good morning. How are you today? What are your plans today? Nothing. Next day, good morning. So we finally made plans to meet up, and probably 10 minutes before we were supposed to meet up, something came up. I'm going to need to delay this. And I was like, yeah, that's enough of that. And it's just, it took a lot for me to even go on those websites because when I was dating in my 20s, not that I thought I was hot, but I didn't think I wasn't hot.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And, things change between your 20s and your 50s. Gravity happens.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of shit that happens.
There's a lot of shit that happens, like the accumulation of chocolate. That happens. The accumulation of wine happens.
It's called old, O-L-D.
Yeah. It's
I
called
know.
Everything Hurts. And so you walk now, you hear cracking and
Right?
popping.
Like,
You're
I
like,
have
what's
to
that
give
noise?
Please, you
I have
roll
to
over
give
in
that
your
girl-
sleep and you cripple
Ugh.
yourself.
I have to give that girl who showed up in heels credit because I can't do high heels. I don't have the foot support for that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm in old lady orthopedics. And listen, I'm getting ready for bed and I have to put in my mouth guard because I grind my teeth and I have to strap myself up
Oh
to the
my God.
CPAP like I'm
So-
doing a fucking deep space exploration. Who's
with
going
the-
to find that sexy? Right?
the-
And I'm
with the
supposed to
dating-
go out there and say, you want this.
With the dating websites, like, do you find, like I found with going on them, it got to a point where it became work.
Yes.
And more of a job than being fun and entertaining. And when I met Jennifer, it was actually my last day on Match. I actually sent her an email. She responded. I'm like, this is my last date. If this don't work, I'm taking a break. I'm just going to go continue doing what I was doing. Because I was meeting people in the bars. I didn't even know why I went on Match. There was a reason why. And now I know why the reason why that was destined to happen. So, but I found that it became more of a job than fun. I don't know how you feel about it, Colleen.
I find the whole thing intimidating, believe it or not. I'm waiting for the guy to make the first move. For as outgoing and as mouthy as I am, I'm still waiting for the guy to make the first move because that's the way we were brought up. We weren't brought up in...
We were raised that way. You were raised that way. Men, I was taught by my dad, you always treat a woman with respect and dignity. You open the doors. You do all the
until she says, call me daddy.
Glad you brought this up.
It's a
I'm
loss.
so
And I'll be
glad
honest
brought
with you.
this up.
I'm going to let you comment on that, Chris. But I went into Wawa one morning. I had my 3 boys with me, and they were younger. My middle son, Michael, ran to the door. And I'm like, where's he going? Why are you running the door? He ran to the door to open up the door for a young lady.
Oh, that's nice.
My age or a
That
little
is
bit older
nice,
than me.
yeah.
Opened up the door. She's like, oh my God, that is so cute. I'm like, well, he knows They all know to be gentlemen.
Yeah.
That is
I
a
tell 'em that's
sad
what they gotta do.
commentary on today's society.
But it's a
that
loss.
is
And
found to be exceptional instead of routine.
Yeah, and the lady said, she said, I don't see that happening that often anymore. I said, well, it's a lost art. I said, because not all, and I don't want to say there's like a blanket statement, not all fathers teach their kids. They just go with the flow. And I think a lot of it, this may get me in trouble, I don't know, but I think when women wanted to be separate from the family and go into the workforce, a lot of that stuff got lost.
So
Feminism
glad you
had
brought
its
this
drawbacks.
up.
Yeah,
So glad you
feminism
brought
had
this
its
up.
drawbacks.
Joe and I were having a conversation right before we got on here. And I said to him, I think a lot of it is, in my case, my mom raised my sister and I to never depend on a man, right? I want to make sure you're independent. You never have to depend on a man. I never have to worry about you, right? So from years and years and years, even when I was married, like, my ex-husband was never home. He was always working and, whatever. So I had to do a lot of things myself. I had to learn to mow the lawn because that was something my dad and my brother always did, right? So I had to mow the lawn and I had to, take the car in to get serviced and, do all of these things. And I became so independent that that's just what it was. I did everything for myself, right? Then enter Joe, right? Now, here's a guy who believes in opening car doors for you, who believes in, I want to take your car in for servicing, number one, because if you're stuck in a snowstorm, I don't want to worry about the tires being bald. I don't want to worry about the tires not having air or you not having windshield wiper fluid or oil in the car, all these safety things, right? The other part is he also doesn't want me going in to take my car and to get serviced. And they're like, oh, you need an air filter. That's an extra $150. Because honestly, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, just do it, whatever. And right, depending on the situation.
I say no to
But-
everything. No.
But he took my car in to go get service and they tried to pull the air filter thing. And he was like, yeah, we're not doing that. I got home. He pulled the air filter out. He took like a blower, blew the dust out.
Blew it out, yeah.
There was no need for it. And he's like, this is why. Okay, fine. Whatever, But we go out and it took a lot for me to let him open the car door for me because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I can open my own car door. And I kind of felt in the beginning, I felt like maybe I was becoming dependent on him and losing a piece of my independence, right? But that's not what it was at all, right? So I have come to realize he's doing this because he genuinely cares. He's trying to set an example. First of all, he's treating me the way that I deserve to be treated and the way that he thinks I deserve to be treated, right? The other part is he's trying to teach, he's trying to teach, other people who
when
are
he's
out
out
there,
in
younger
public
kids,
and the younger kids see that.
especially his grandkids. He's trying to set the example. This is how you treat a woman. Like, this is how you treat them, right? And so...
How do you reconcile that, Chris, with today's version of you can't even assume someone's a woman?
That's true, too. So I just...
They're making things difficult. This ain't easy anymore.
It took a lot. It took a lot for me to let Joe open the door for me, right? Because I'd go up and out of habit, just open the car door. And he'd always say, something wrong with your hand? Oh, something wrong with your arm? What are you doing? Right? And I'm like, oh, sorry. And now I walk up to the door and I just wait. Now, if it's, a frozen tundra out there and it's windy as all hell, and I'm like, I'm freezing. He'll just unlock the car and I jump in. And he said to me, he goes, I've learned to back off on that because he's loading the groceries in the car. He's like, get in the car, I'll do it. Right. How many people out there would be like, oh, you're not going to help me load the groceries? Or the guy would get in the car first and then the woman's putting the groceries in the car, like whatever. I think I think that's very respectful.
There's a significant difference between expecting the car door to be opened, allowing the car door to be opened, and putting away the groceries while he's sitting in the warm car.
Right.
The first one, she's wrong. The second one, okay. And the third one is justifiable homicide.
Well, yeah, that is true.
I can speak to what Chris is talking about because Jennifer struggled with that with me. Like I would do everything to a T, but I kind of like learned to back off without being like kind of seeing for myself that like, all right, I'm not going to make her wait to get in a car. There are times where I step in, grab the door, open it. There are times where, you know what? I can't. Jesus, I cannot.
I know.
I just can't allow her to open a door. Like and there are times where she'll look at me and I'm like, I'm delayed for whatever the reason is. I'm not I'm 50 years old. I'm not running to the door. You beat me to it. What do you want from me?
I can open my own door, but I can also appreciate when someone makes the gesture.
Right.
And I just think knowing that a man...
That's the sweet spot right there.
If you know your man... If you know your man is capable of doing it, then it shouldn't be held against him all the time. There's going to be times where it's going to be necessary, and there's going to be a time where it's not necessary.
No, 100%, 100%. But I will say this. Joe opens the door for me, car door, door at home. If we're going to church, he opens the door for me, and it's always me stepping in first. If we're in a room and he's like, oh, okay, like we went to a charity event on Saturday night, and he's like, go ahead, hon, after you. And I'm like, I don't know where to go. I'll follow you. And in that case, he went first because I insisted, right? Mm-hmm. But when we go grocery shopping together. We bring the groceries in. If it's cold, he'll pack up the car from the cart, and I get inside, whatever. When we get home,
hold on, you don't help him
if it's cold.
You don't help him? He's cold too, damn it.
No, but he insists.
We're men. We can handle the cold air, Colleen.
Yeah, he's like, oh, come and get in and get warm.
I'm like a bear. You ever seen my back? I got more hair than a wig.
Jesus
I might have 3 wigs on my back. There's so much hair.
Oh my God.
All right, Sasquatch.
Jesus.
So can we talk about?
He'll be weaving hair to make a bodysuit or something.
So let me ask you this:
hook up with that guy from Facebook.
Yeah. So let me ask you this:
right?
So
is it
proper? Is it proper? Is it proper still that the man makes the first move, or is it? Anything goes.
I don't think it's improper if he makes the first move. I think if a woman makes the first move, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But at our age, that's a big step. That's a big ask.
A big step for who? For women or
for women? For women, it's a big ask for us because that's not the way we were.
Because you're conditioned to being raised that way.
We are. I mean, I remember. Okay. I went to Ireland with my family, my mom and dad, and we were driving around the coast, and we ended up in this town called Listaverna. And we get out of the car, and go into the local pub, and it's a matchmaker pub. And Listaverna has this Sadie Hawkins month where there's a matchmaker where the girls can ask the guys. And it's only this specified amount of time. Otherwise, culture says that the men are supposed to ask the women. But now, is that considered specified
time? Is that days?
Do you remember when we were kids and we had a Sadie Hawkins dance where the girls could ask the boys to the dance?
No.
I have no recollection of this whatsoever.
Never had a Sadie Hawkins dance.
But you know what it is, right?
We had,
I know
I've
what
heard
it is.
Of it. We had at the public school. We had junior prom and prom. That was it.
So that was our culture. Our Sadie Hawkins dance was the exception, not the rule. The rule was the man asked the girl, the boy. Well, there were men asking girls too, but that's a whole different podcast. The boys asked the girls.
We're really stepping over the line with that one.
The boys asked the girls to the dance, and
I always got asked by Scott Davis. I always got asked by Egghead Scott Davis every time.
I don't know what the hell.
You.
How did you not pay him the message and tell him I'm not interested,
dude? Scott Davis.
Wait till he sees this podcast. I'm gonna edit this one out.
So
Good one.
that's the culture that we were brought up in. So it's hard for people our age to go against that, to be the one to put yourself out there and say, this is what I want, hey, let's meet up sometime. I find it hard to do, and I'm a very outspoken person. I'm not exactly considered shy. I don't know if you guys picked up on that I'm not shy.
No, no.
No,
But
I'm
it's
surprised
hard.
you're on here, Colleen.
But what is it, Carl? But what is it, Carl? Is it like a fear of rejection? I
think it's self-confidence.
Okay.
I am not the person I was when I was 20. And when I was 20, it wasn't a big deal. Now I have, pounds and more issues that I put on myself than I necessarily should.
Can I chime in on that, Colleen? Because
not if you're going to talk about the pounds.
No. What I'm going to say, I find it's more difficult for women when they get older battling other things than it is for men. Because I know for me, my personality hasn't changed with that. Like I've stayed steady, even keeled the entire time from high school
and Dave,
till now.
You said you could go out to bars, right? And meet people.
Right.
A woman, as far as I'm concerned, a woman can't go out to a bar alone to meet people.
No. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no.
Chris, would you pretend Joe's not in the picture? Would you go out to a bar by yourself to try and meet someone?
Not probably.
Or would you sit in the corner of the bar and be like, oh my God, I am such an idiot. Why am I here? People think I'm an alcoholic.
No,
you would go with friends. You would probably go with friends.
I would probably go by myself, sit at the bar, have one, maybe 2 drinks, and just kind of like suss out the situation. And then I'd probably hightail it out of there and be like, this is a total waste. I'm not doing this. But then, like Dave said, you'd go with your friends, but
I found that.
But the bottom line is with this though, women who go to the bars, right? It's not in today's society, it's not necessarily a safe thing because you see all of these stories. Oh, a woman went to a bar and she left. She was last seen on camera and then she turns up dead. I'm not saying that's going to happen in every case, but you just don't know. You just don't know. So of course, a woman is going to go with her friends.
Yeah, that makes it difficult too when you're dealing in that aspect of it.
It also makes it difficult when you're post relationship and your friend group has now fractured,
divided.
Yeah, it's diminished.
What do you do then when, your best friend is 12 states away and your other friends are already in steady relationships? What do you do then when you're the only single person?
Yeah.
You go, you find,
you end up with the hair guy on Facebook.
I found when I go out
with Precious.
When I would go out with buddies, we go to a bar, I would meet people there and then I would expand a new friend pack. And then there's church, there's shopping, there's going out to parties and just in general. Like
I do all the grocery shopping. I've never met anyone yet at a grocery store. I've never had that dog part meet cute that's supposed to happen. Although I will say that I've probably read too much of that mommy porn smut. That my expectations are different than what they used to be.
No.
Like there's no fucking millionaires just running around saying, I need you, Kyle.
But what about like getting fixed up? Like what about like mutual friends?
Nah, I tried that. That was terrible.
Yeah.
They tried to fix me up with somebody and I'm like, nope, they ain't gonna work. Not gonna work.
Okay. And then when it doesn't work out, there's more fracturing and splintering.
Yeah, I was going to say, then there's a fallout, right? Because you're mad at your friends for fixing you up, or
it's like workplace.
And then that person they tried to
Mm-hmm.
fix you up is part of the group, and now now somebody has to leave the group. Is it you or is it the other person? Because they don't want to be, you don't want to be around them.
Yeah. It's a difficult thing to navigate. It's a difficult thing to navigate, even if you thought you were the hottest thing this side of the the turnpike,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
When you don't think that, then it's even that much harder. And you already have these past expectations
Yeah.
or past experiences that change your expectations,
Mhm.
right? And I'm at the point where I'm not going to change my life for someone again.
Mhm.
I did that. I had the house, the dog, the relationship, the whole thing. It
Mhm.
didn't work out. That's okay. But I'm not doing it again. I'm very happy with my life on my time frame with
Mhm.
my rules. And
Right.
I'm not going to try and Dave, you're not going to like this, but I'm not going
No,
to
you're
try
not
and
gonna.
break in a new one.
Mm.
Like they were hard enough to break in when they
Yeah.
were 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
I get it.
50, they're
Yeah.
irrevocably
It's
screwed.
Colleen.
There's no
I
fixing
agree
them at
100%.
50.
It took me and Jennifer when we first started talking. The both of us never like marriage wasn't a conversation. Like we
Yeah.
were just dating and having fun, going out and enjoying each other's time. And then as time went on, those thoughts changed. You know, we
Mhm.
can, and then because when I first met her, marriage was not in her foreseeing future.
Mhm.
For me, the dating game was getting old. Like I went through, like as soon as I got divorced and separated, I went through into dating and I'm like, you know what? I'm it's going to be tough getting out and doing it, starting over again. But as
Mhm.
time went on, I got used to doing certain things. I really should have stayed by myself for a year instead of just jumping right back into the game.
Mhm.
Cause I noticed that when I had that, the rebound relationship and all, it didn't work, blah, blah, blah. But then I took 2 years to be by myself, hang out with my buddies, and I
Rebound
got
relationships are not supposed to work.
no,
That's
they're
why they're
not.
No.
rebounds.
But
Exactly. And then
here's the
being by
opposite of that.
myself, though, being by myself, I got set in my ways in the way I did things. Like I was like, I don't have to answer anybody. I could do what I
Mhm.
Mhm.
want. I go out on my vacations with my friends when I want to go. I don't have to plan around somebody else's schedule. I go out to
Mhm.
dinner when I go out to dinner. I don't have to worry
Wants,
about.
needs,
Yeah,
moods.
it
Yeah.
became an inherited thing, and I was happy. I was like, this is awesome. But
Mhm.
then that got old, and I'm like,
Yeah.
now I want to have a partner. I want to have
Mhm.
a companion, like you said, Colleen,
Mhm.
somebody I could share the time with, somebody I can enjoy my time with, and laugh and smile and giggle, and
Yeah, I
go
mean,
through the tough times and
I
the
went the
great times.
opposite way, Dave. I went to no rebound relationships, and it was a year, and then it was 2 years, and then it was 10 years, and then it was 15 years. And like, how do you jump back in after it was all relationships and then it was nothing? How do you jump back into that pool again with any confidence that any of it's going to work out? And again, I'm not looking for marriage. I just want someone to hang out with every now and
Yeah.
again. I have
Is it
other
is it
obligations
but
in my
Colleen,
life.
is it confidence, or is it just because we're so set in our ways that we don't want anybody to try and uproot the way we do things?
I think I'm too old to change my life around someone else's whims, which is what we all did when we were in
Mhm.
our 20s and 30s. We changed our lives to fit our partners. And I'm beyond that now. I have a life that I like, but I just want someone that I can hang out with occasionally that's not going to make demands on my time or my emotions.
I'm going to
Yeah.
counter that. I'm going to counter that because Joe and I were fixed up by mutual friends.
Mhm.
We talked for 6 months before we actually met, and we hit it off, like, right away. It was like, we had the same morals and values and just, basically everything, just so much in common. And then when I finally moved back, um, we started, we went into this relationship, which we call a partnership because, a relationship to us, like our definition of relationship, not everybody's, but ours is, you go and you have a good time, you fight, blah, 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 blah. Right. A partnership to us is you're in it for the long haul. You are working together to make life better for each other, and you're trying to bring out the absolute best in each other. And no matter what you do, you're not going to just throw in the towel the first fight that you have, which a lot of people do, you know.
Right.
So it just so happened that it worked out for us, right? And like I said, I'm very extremely independent, and it took a lot for me to take a step back and let him do the things that he wanted to do for me, because I felt like I was losing my independence. He was doing it because he was like, I'm trying to show her respect, right? And so once he realized where he needs to back off, and I realized I need to let him do this, it all like evolved, and it worked out, and it's still working out, and it is now a really great thing. Now, Kyle, I was thinking the same way because I was single for a couple of years, and I'm thinking, I don't want to have to answer to somebody. I want to come and go as I please. I want to go out with who I want to go out with, and no one's going to tell me no. And if I want to do
have
this,
responsibilities and a
Right.
good life
Yeah.
that I do what I want.
But
And
it doesn't
I'm
have
just
to be a
looking for
negative
someone
thing.
to.
But
I'm
it
just
doesn't
looking
have
for
to be a
someone
negative thing.
like a friends with benefits. I know that's a terrible phrase that has bad connotations,
Yeah.
but honestly, that's about the commitment that I want at this stage. I'm
And
not
there's
looking
nothing
for a
wrong with
life
that.
partner.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just,
But
but
there's
it's just
nothing
in my
on the
situation.
websites. There's
Right.
nothing on the websites in between marriage and hookup, and
Right.
that's where
No, it's one
I
extreme
think
or
a
the
lot
other.
of people are.
Yeah,
And it
it's one
just,
extreme or the
like,
other.
in my case, Joe and I were fixed up by mutual friends. It worked out, and it's been great. It's been all positive. Like, there's been a lot of things I've had to learn. I know what communication is. I know that,
I'm
he's
glad
my
you
safe
brought that
space.
up because I
He's my safe
found
space. He's always like, it doesn't matter what you tell me as long as I hear it from you first. And in the beginning, there were a lot of things that I was like, I'm keeping close to the chest. But now, after a few times, I've realized, like, I've gone to him, I've said certain things to him, and he doesn't get mad. He's like, okay. And we talk about it. And that's
Yeah.
what a mature relationship is. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing, but maybe the websites are not the answer, because maybe the websites are just for your friends with benefits and people who, and let me tell you now,
hookups.
you talk to these people online, and the minute they start asking you for money, bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's a whole.
That's a whole other thing. But
I would like to say something on the lines of what you're saying with the partnership. I found in my second marriage that my communication level, because of my maturity and growing up, is a lot better, and found that our second relationship with a mature adult of your age, you can work through the issues versus keeping them close to the chest, because as younger adults, you're like, we're all selfish. It is what it is. We're all selfish. We want it our way. There's no compromise. Yeah, a lot of times it's not a compromise. It's like, look, I'm right, you're wrong, and it's about right and wrong. I find with my relationship with Jennifer, we're a team. Like, we're teammates. We're on the same side. And sometimes it doesn't seem like it, but when it finally kind of comes out in the conversation, we're both talking about the same thing, just coming at it from different angles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see your side of that, Chris. I think with relationships these days, the older we get, the best part of the relationship is learning to become a better communicator. Because
do you
communication
think that the end goal should be relationship, though?
I don't know. It's all preference, Colleen. I don't think there's an end goal. I think it's whatever you want. Like,
I think we were groomed as children that the end goal is relationships.
Because I was raised
as
a young man.
When are you going to meet a nice guy? You need to meet a nice guy.
I was raised as a young man to be the provider. When you come out of school, you find somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with. You have a family. You're the provider. You're the man. You work. You do everything you need to do to make that family go. That's the concept for, I believe, our age group. I don't think that concept exists anymore with people coming out in the younger ages, because they're getting married later. It's more like, I have to have a career. I have to do this. I have to fulfill me first before I can do these
Mhm.
other things.
Mhm.
And I'm finding that's more of a common cause than it used to be. And I think people our age are trying to teach and get that old concept back. So there is more of a family oriented country versus it's just about me.
So let me throw something else in there. When you guys were dating, were kids a turn off, a turn on? It didn't matter. Would you date someone with kids when you were in the dating game?
Well, I had 4. My thing was I had to date somebody who had kids and can understand me as a parent. If I didn't, I dated somebody who didn't have kids. It doesn't work. And even I found with Jennifer, like a funny thing when we met, she actually Googled me to see if I had a record or if I was a nut job.
Listen, that's not a
I had
funny
a
thing.
ticket.
That's standard protocol.
Yeah,
You need
and I
to
had a
make sure
speeding
that
ticket.
you're
I
not
didn't know.
Buffalo
Well, see,
Bill.
as a man, maybe I'm naive. Maybe other men know it. I didn't know this. She Googled me, and I'm like, well, "What did you
Yeah.
find out? Anything good?"
That's the
And
first
she's like,
step.
"Yeah." She says, "I saw you had a speeding ticket in Virginia."
Yeah.
I said, "Is that all you found?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, then what are you worried about?" And to this
That's
day,
the first step.
it was
And the
always
fact
a
that we
joke.
live in a society where that is the first step is really sad. Because you
is.
used to just be able to meet someone and hang out and not worry about ending up at the bottom of a well with Precious.
No,
Correct.
because that's the way it
Yeah.
happens. There's
Or your
less of
body's
that
never
now,
found
but there
after
was a
you're
period
kidnapped
where
from a bar
that
in
was kind of
Aruba.
happening.
Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
go overseas now, you disappear because there's more of the the trafficking and all that. So
Mm.
I
My
think
mom
that,
actually brought that up to me about dating websites and how dangerous they were. And I was like, I understand that, but I think that's more of a younger girl's worry than a woman of my age. Do we
no,
really
we have to
that
worry about
worry?
cons. People our age have to worry about con artists getting
Well,
in,
I mean, listen,
taking
if
our
some
money
prince from
and running
Nubia
off.
is calling me and telling me that I'm his love match, but I have to send him $500,000, I'm pretty sure I'm going to figure out that that's a con.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
I
you're
am
I
not
want to
gonna
know.
be Princess
I want to
of
know who's
Nubia.
dumb enough to say that and expect really us to give them money. That's what I want to know.
Right?
Like, what an
Apparently,
idiot!
there are a lot of people that do that, though.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think it for dating, it was an adjustment for me when I got to that age because I'd been out of the game for so long and not knowing what women wanted at this stage in their lives. Like because
Yeah.
we all did different ones as we grow up. Like as 20-year-olds, we can only love as a 20-year-old can love. But then
Yeah.
as you get older and mature, you get to read into it more and you understand. Like I tell my kids all the time, like, stay single for a while when you come out of school. There's no reason to get into a relationship. Learn what your wants and needs are. Learn what you expect from another person and what you can expect to give to that person.
Yeah.
Learn what it is that makes you that's going to make you a man. And tell my daughter, learn that what it's going to make you a woman. See what you need from a man. Be independent, but there are things that you can gain from a man. Just know that. And I think that's lost.
I can think of one or two things.
Well, all right. So let's wrap this up. Let's give our 2-minute our 2-minute wrap up. Carl, what's your 2-minute 2-minute drill? What's your 2 minutes on this?
It's a crapshoot on the best of days. On the worst of days, it's guys with kitty cats and hair petting. I think that the game has changed, and I don't know that I've kept up enough to be part of the game. I feel like I got left behind, and I'm not sure how to bridge that gap anymore. And I think that's the point that I'm at now, that I'm stuck in this this no man's land of I want a companionship with someone, but I also don't want to be beholden to someone. I don't want to play all the games. And frankly, I just don't want to deal with the bullshit. Right? I just want someone to hang out with, maybe go on a vacation with. Not an everyday constant emotional demand, because I've been there and done that. And I'm okay at the minute for that. That may change in the future, but not at the moment. So that's my take on it. It's a crapshoot.
Okay. Dave, what's your take?
Well, for me, the dating sites were fun, but they became a job. And I started to lose interest really quick. I was like, you know what? The exact thing that I did for a little bit of 6 months, it was like, I could have did this just going out places. And I found like, yeah, I met some different individuals online. I didn't meet a lot, but I met just as many, if not more, going out on a daily basis. Like I didn't feel like, I think I guess basically what it did was it helped, the websites helped bridge the gap that Colleen was looking at saying about. Like it helped me understand what women of my age group were looking for.
Right.
And then when I went out, and the one thing that I found out was women love honesty. If there's nothing there, if there's not a spark, if there's not interest from me, it's okay to say I'm not interested. They're okay with that. You know, as younger adults are like, I'm just going to ghost her. Like it's uncomfortable. I don't want to say that. And getting into the dating game again at the age I was at, it was uncomfortable for me because I was never like, you came out of one into one stage, you got divorced, you came into another stage. You're like, I'm still living dating him from the 20s. Like I'm still thinking on that mindset. And then when you get to talk to women of my age group at that time, they all said that. They're like, just be honest. Like we just want to know so we can move on and, you know, check some other things out. Like don't drag it out. You know what I mean? So that's what I took from it. It was a learning experience. It was kind of fun, but it was a job, and I'm glad I did it because I met my wife now and I'm happily married. And I don't think, and I got the final frontier in front of me with my wife that I have now. So that's where I'm at.
Well, I think the websites can be good or bad. I think it depends on what it is you're looking for and, you know, how much effort do you want to put into it? You know, I've been on the dating sites. I've met some really nice people that I'm still friends with today. But overall, I feel like the percentage of people who meet somebody who they go into a relationship with and put your own definition on relationship, whether it be a friendship or whether it be like a romantic thing, you know, you can decide what it is that you want to do, you know, for yourself and, you know, make it whatever it is that you want. I find that once you have that, that personal touch to it, I feel like it's more like, there's more success rates when you are fixed up with a mutual friend. That's how I feel. But I do know people who have met their, you know, their partners, significant others, spouses, whatever the situation is. They have met them online through dating sites, and it has worked out. You know, so I'm not saying it can happen. I'm not saying that it will, but I think it all depends on the person and what exactly it is they're looking for. And, you know, do you want to give up a little bit of your freedom to make something work? Do you want to, or are you going to stand firm and be like, I am not putting up with this crap? Like, that's it. Like, I'm not bending for anybody. So, you know, so all the listeners out there, let us know what you think. Do you think the dating websites are worth it? Or, you know, do you find it ridiculous? Do you want to go on them? Do you want to spend the time? Do you find it to be a job? Do you think you can meet somebody, or do you think you're going to go out and get killed? Like,
do you know anyone Colleen will like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does somebody want to date
recommendations? Recommendations will be accepted.
Yeah. Call Colleen. Her number is COL6969. 856
recommendations appreciated.
6969. Please, let's get Colleen
1-800 FU Chris.
Don't forget we don't want to leave out our sponsors.
Don't forget our sponsors. Our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by Trees Company out of Port Elizabeth, New Jersey, for all of your planting, pruning, and tree services.
Axe and Hour Brewery at High Street in Glassboro on Rowan's campus. Get out, check out their beers.
You guys are going to be so mad at me, but
KMT Consulting Group, 900 Haddon Ave in Collingswood.
I didn't have the address. I apologize.
That's okay.
Right?
That's okay. That's
It's like
all right.
8,000
There's
texts
nothing
ago.
but
I'm
love.
so sorry.
We got you,
All
Kyle.
right.
It's all good.
Well, thanks for joining us for yet another episode of Three Friends and All the Things podcast. Just remember, stay safe, keep it real, and remember who you are.
Go Phillies.
Thanks for listening to the show. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. See you next time on Three Friends and All the Things podcast. Real talk, real people. New episodes drop every week, so hit follow, leave a review, and tell your messiest friend to listen to. You know the one I'm talking about. Until next time, keep it real, keep it loud, and keep doing all the things.